Honey, I'm home. Decent day at work today, but wait a minute. I don't remember that Macintosh SE being over there. Such a cool computer. What do we have under the keyboard here? Oh god! Oh god! Oh wait, I forgot my keys. Crap! Oh no! No, it can't be. It can't be. Oh god. Oh god. Get it away from me. I didn't see anything. This will be the easiest way out ever. I gotta escape. Gotta escape from the evilness. The evilness of me. Okay. Okay. I think I lost it. Now, I just gotta figure out where to drive to. I'm in New England. I can go to any state in New England to get away from it. Okay, take a breather. Whew, wait a minute. What's that in my rearview mirror? What do I see? Well, my friends, the time has come. A time to sit around and have some fun. And oh, are we going to have ample fun today? Because even though this is being recorded before the official anniversary, we are doing, it is the anniversary, the 20th anniversary of an operating system that, in my opinion, wasn't really that bad to begin with. Yes, folks, believe it or not, it has been 20 years as of September 14th, 2020. Windows Me is now 20 years old. Yes, I said that. 20 years old. I was not quite 3 years old when Windows Me launched for RTM availability on September 14th, 2000. So, yeah. Windows Me, the operating system that gets so much hate, even more hate than Vista. Why did it get so much hate, and why did people detest it as much as they did? Well, there's a whole story behind it, and I'll probably be reading a Wikipedia article on it, but I'm going to try to refrain from using Wikipedia just to see how much I can remember about Windows Me, because I don't like having to rely on Wikipedia, because we all know it's the most reliable source in the world. So, what are we going to be doing to celebrate Windows Me's 20th anniversary? Why not install it on an old junker computer like that? Yes, this is the Dell Dimension L500R, which as of this time is on eBay for sale, and I'm going to be restoring Windows Me to it, because why the heck not? Now, if you've seen the video, I'll probably put a link up in the cards to this computer. I actually don't even know if I published this video, but nonetheless, we're going to be installing Windows Me on here, and I just realized I forgot to get a power cord for this computer, so I will be right back. And I'm back. Anyways, this will be our victim here today. This computer is actually already running Windows Me, but needs to be reformatted as, well, if I'm going to be selling this computer, I sort of have to make it so that it doesn't have personal data on it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this party started. So we're going to go ahead and turn the computer on, inject the CD-ROM drive. I'm going to hit delete. Hey, don't go back in. I did not tell you to go back in. We're going to press delete repeatedly here. There we go. You go into the BIOS. We're going to put in our Windows Me CD. In the meantime, I'm going to set the camera down. Alright, let me readjust my angle here. Alright. So here's the specs in case you really want to read that. It's got a Pentium 3, 500 megahertz, 256K of cache, half a gigabyte of RAM, and an 80 gig hard drive, which was not original to this computer. So let's see, first boot device CD-ROM. Okay, looks like it is set to boot from CD first, so we're going to save changes and exit. And in just a moment here, we should get our Windows Me boot menu. Now, I'm going to be telling, because this is Windows Me's 20th anniversary, and I'm going to talk about some of the features new to Windows Me, and I'll also tell a personal story like I always do with these operating system anniversary videos. There we go, we want to boot from the CD-ROM. But what we're going to do is we're going to start computer with CD-ROM support. Let me move the keyboard closer to me so I can actually do this correctly. Now, Windows Me was actually the last version of Windows 9X. Now, Microsoft originally said that Windows 98 would be the last version of Windows 9X, but what they ended up doing was they ended up making Windows Windows Me the last version of Windows 9X, because after Windows Me came Windows XP, and with the release of Windows XP, Windows was no longer based on DOS. Now, Windows Me was sort of Windows XP Home Edition's predecessor, because Windows Me stripped out support for real mode DOS. So Windows Me was actually sort of a pioneer OS in terms of being the transition OS between Windows 2000 and Windows XP, because beginning with XP, Microsoft merged the 9X and Windows NT kernels and just said everyone has access to the Windows NT kernel. There's no more 9X for consumers and NT for businesses anymore. So Windows Me did strip out real mode DOS support, which did make it faster, quite a bit faster than Windows 98 actually, but because Windows Me was, let me just make sure, yeah, we do have to format our C drive. Let me actually go to the D drive. But yeah, basically what I was trying to say was because Windows, just need to format the C drive here. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. Okay, format is not in there. Let's try CD Win Me. What was it called again? Alright, Win9X. That was it. Yep, there's our format command. So we're going to format C / quick format. And of course, you cannot do a quick format. Alright, so we'll have to do a full format. But anyways, what we'll do is so we'll go ahead and format the drive here. But anyways, basically Windows Me was quite the departure from Windows 9X, because like I said, there was no real mode DOS support, which made it run a hell of a lot faster than Windows 98 and 95. And Windows Me also introduced some key tools that were present in Windows XP, such as Windows Movie Maker. Windows Media Player was a new thing, and previous releases had Media Player, but it was much more up to date, and it was more of a separate application in Windows Me. Honestly, you know what? I think I'd rather explain this while it's actually installing the OS and not formatting the drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and I'll come back when this is done. Alright, that didn't take too long. That only took about 10 minutes, and I actually had a couple work tickets coming in. Yes, I am working from home as I record this video, so you kids out there are so lucky to be able to do online school because of current events these days. Because I still have to work, but that's okay. Anyways, volume label, Win Me is what we'll call it. And there we go, we have successfully done this. So now what we'll do is we'll go over to the C drive, and I'll show you guys how to install Windows 9X and make it so you don't have to keep inserting the CD every time you make major changes to the OS. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make directory Windows, CD Windows, make directory options, if I can spell, CD options, make directory cabs, CD cabs, and now we type copy d:\/ Win9X in, yeah, because in Windows 98 in Windows 95 it's Win95, 98 is Win98, in Millennium it is Win9X, and we'll do a star.star, so it'll copy everything from the Windows 9X directory to the C drive. As you can see, it is now copying all the files over. And basically, this allows you to not only install Windows Me without, or any Windows 9X OS actually for that matter, without the CD in the drive, but it also also makes it so that when you make major changes to the OS, like installing drivers or something like that, you don't have to insert your Windows disk every single time you make major changes. So doing it, and this is how OEMs would have pre-installed Windows 95, 98, and Millennium back in the day. Like I said, I'll talk a little bit more about Windows Me and myself. I can't really say Windows Me and me, because then I'm comparing apples to apples. But basically, yeah, this process usually doesn't take too long. It just has to copy a bunch of cabinet files over. So, and then I'll show you what the setup looks like. And actually, I just realized I forgot to take a pic. I forgot to get my Gateway Solo 1150 out of storage because it contains a Windows Me product key. But you know what? I'm going to look up a product key anyways, and because you can find Windows Me keys on Google these days. And honestly, I don't think Microsoft is going to give a damn about a product giving away a product key for an operating system that's 20 years old and hasn't been supported since 2006. Okay, there we go. We went ahead. Looks like all the files were copied successfully. So now, let me go ahead and pull up a product key just in advance. And we'll go ahead and get cracking on this installation. So, alright, so now all you have to do, if we run a dir whack-p, we should have a setup file in here. Yep, setup.exe. And what I like to do is, if I can spell setup, I use the whack-is switch, which if you don't know what that does, it basically skips scan disk. Because we all know that I know that this for a fact that this drive is healthy and does not require any sort of disk checking whatsoever. Anyways, and here we are. Welcome to Windows Me Setup. Now, before I get started here, I wanted to confess something. When I was a kid, I always thought the proper way to say it was Windows ME, pronouncing both letters in the name. It turns out I was incorrect the whole time, and I would actually correct people who said Windows Me because I would say that's not how you pronounce it. Turns out they were right, I was wrong, because yes, per Microsoft, the official pronunciation is Me, not ME. So from now on, I will be referring to this operating system as Windows Me. So we will not be installing to Windows 000, so we're just going to take the zeros out, because if we do that, then another earthquake and tsunami will attack Japan if we install Windows to C Windows 000. Now, so now that we're actually in the setup, I can actually talk a little bit about the new features in Windows Me. In fact, you will be able to see some of these new features in just a moment here. Obviously, as a tech, I'm going to do a custom install. We're going to get everything. We're going to do all the accessories, all communications, themes, games, multi-language support, all multimedia, no online services, no Outlook Express, system tools, and we really don't need Web TV for Windows. So we'll go ahead and just get all that good stuff. Computer name, we'll call this Dell. Do I have my caps lock on? Dell, what is this, L500R? We'll just say Dell 500R, because why not? Work group is fine. Computer description, Dell Dimension. What is this, an L500R, I think? Alright, so we'll just put that in. We are in English, United States, with a Japanese keyboard, of course. And we are in the Indiana East time zone. Sure, why not? No, I'm kidding. We're in Eastern time zone. We will not be creating a startup disk. Ready to begin copying files. There we go. Please sit back and relax while Windows Me is installed on your computer. So, Windows Me. What is so different about Windows Me versus Windows 95 and 98? Well, as I mentioned earlier, it was the last of the Windows 9X operating systems. But it introduced a lot of features that were present in Windows XP. For instance, it introduced Windows Movie Maker which a lot of people believe debuted in Windows XP, but it was actually Windows Me where Windows Movie Maker was first seen. But basically, it was pretty mediocre in Windows Me, though, because I've used it, and it always would have problems connecting to a camera, and it would often blue screen the computer, wouldn't save files correctly. So it was a good first attempt, and the reason Microsoft released Windows Movie Maker and Windows Me was because at the time Apple had. And I'm getting a phone call, so let me go ahead and pause this. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. That was just the car dealership. Yes, I finally got myself a new car, so the Prius you saw at the beginning of this video will be saying farewell. But anyways, on with Windows Me. We're not here to talk about the Prius, we're here to talk about Windows Me for its 20th anniversary. So where was I? Oh right, Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, so Windows Movie Maker was included as the Windows version of iMovie because back in 1999, when DV and mini DV camcorders were popular, Microsoft wanted to compete with iMovie because iMovie was basically the gold standard on the Macintosh back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And in 2000, the same year Windows Me came out, Apple had already released iMovie 2 and was shipping it with their new FireWire model iBooks and iMacs. So Microsoft needed a way to compete, so they made Microsoft Movie Maker. Like I said, though, it had a lot of flaws, like the timeline and storyboard were horribly flawed. It would often not save files correctly. I've had a hell of a time trying to save it with files with it because. Yeah, I mean, it either doesn't save the video correctly or doesn't save the audio correctly. I've had nothing but problems with Windows Me's Movie Maker. In XP, it was much better, but in Me, it was not the best version of Windows Movie Maker. It was, I mean, if you thought Windows XP's Movie Maker was mediocre, well, take a look at Windows Mediocre Maker. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm like Chugga Conroy. I like to make bad puns. Sorry. Anyways, couldn't resist. Anyways, Windows Me also had a feature called Windows Image Acquisition, or WIA. This basically allowed you to grab images from a digital camera, scanner, and even a video camcorder, which is how Windows Movie Maker was supposed to work, where you plug your camcorder in, and you have, you were able to just instantly capture audio and video from your camcorder. But unfortunately, when I used Windows Image Acquisition, it often resulted in the BSOD, mainly because of driver issues related to the camera, and Windows Me just wasn't having it. I mean, some cameras I had no problem with, but other cameras, it was just hell trying to get them to work with Windows Image Acquisition. Windows Me also introduced Windows Media Player. Oh my God, I really need to stop making bad puns. Come on, Ben, you're not funny. Anyways, Windows Media Player 7 was included as standard in Windows Me. And it was a huge, major departure from previous versions of Windows Media Player. And when we get the operating system installed, you'll see what I mean. And I think I will have to install the video driver because I do have a Matrox card in there. So I will need to. I'll probably just pause and install that driver off camera, or maybe I'll do it on camera just so you can see how you install a driver in Windows Me. But anyways, yeah, Windows Media Player 7 came preloaded with Windows Me as standard. It was basically designed to compete with Real Player, which was very popular for those of you who grew up. For those of you 90s kids, myself included, you'll probably remember Real Player. And yeah, so that included Windows Media Player 7, which we'll go through and take a look. I don't have any speakers connected because even though Windows Me was the first version to come with a sample track, unfortunately the song is copyrighted, so I cannot play it because I don't want this video to get a copyright strike. I don't think Beck Hansen would think too highly of me if I played even just an excerpt of his song "Beautiful Way" on this channel, because we all know how the copyright mafia is, right? Anyways, so Windows Media Player 7. Windows Me also included Internet Explorer 5.5, which had a bunch of JavaScript and Flash updates. And it's funny that I even mentioned Flash, because Flash is actually going to be deprecated by the end of this year. In December, Flash will be at its end of life and will no longer be developed by Adobe. But back in 2000, almost every website used Flash. And they had all these Flash games. For those of you, again, referring to us 90s kids, we all remember those cool Flash games we'd play on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.com. So, anyways, so Internet Explorer 5.5. Windows Me was also the first version of Windows to come with System Restore. Yes, even CompTIA is wrong about which version of Windows first shipped with System Restore. CompTIA says it was Windows XP. That is not true. Windows Me was actually the first version to come with System Restore. What System Restore did, just to give you a brief overview, is it took snapshots of your system whenever you installed a program or made major changes to your hardware or settings. And that way, if your computer ever got into an unrecoverable state or you installed malware, you could use System Restore to restore your computer to an earlier snapshot to, in a sense, undo the damage that was done to your computer. So Windows Me introduced System Restore. However, it had a bug where any restore points created after September 8th, 2001 would result in regardless of what you tried to restore, System Restore would just fail. Now, Microsoft did release a patch for this, which I believe you can still get with the unofficial service packs released for Windows Me. But yeah, that was a critical flaw in Windows Me, and I don't even remember when Microsoft officially patched this, but can't imagine it being too long after Windows Me was released. Let's see, what else have I not talked about? Windows Me introduced new icons, basically the Windows 2000 icons and sound schemes. Had a new and improved help section. And it also included internet-based games, which sadly are no longer active after the MSN shutdown of last year. But it included games like Internet Backgammon, Internet Reversey, Internet Chess, stuff like that. And I remember playing those even in high school on an old Windows Me computer that was connected to the internet. So that was kind of neat. Okay, looks like setup is ready to restart the computer. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll hit OK, and we'll restart now. Yeah, I think I covered most of what Windows Me introduced and what it removed. As far as removed features, Real Mode DOS support was removed, which was one of the main draws to Windows Me. It basically allowed the operating system to start up faster, and it really did allow for smooth performance. The only issue was, if you went to, like, I've tried to play DOS games like Doom and Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem 3D, and the problem is Windows Me can play them, but the quality you get is not even close to what you get in, say, Windows 98 or Windows 95 that have full real mode DOS support. Windows Me, unfortunately, does not have that, so unfortunately it does mean bad news if you try to play your old DOS games on Windows Me. And as I suspected, it does not have the video driver for my Matrox card, so I am going to have to manually install that. I think what I'll do, because this part usually takes a really long time, well, I do want to show the product key, but after I put in the product key, I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to do the rest of the setup off camera, because I know I've installed Windows Me on this computer before, and I know it has all the drivers, even for the integrated video card, but since we're using the Matrox for this one, because I wanted to show one of the complaints about Windows Me, which will become apparent when I install the Matrox card driver. It's actually a Matrox Millennium G400, I believe? Can't remember exactly what model it is, but anyways, it's now setting up plug-and-play devices. Now, as far as Windows Me's reception, because I feel that it is necessary to talk about Windows Me's negative reception back in 2000, Windows Me was highly criticized for compatibility issues with hardware. Windows Me was not well received. Many users reported compatibility issues with hardware, frequent crashes, and they just thought that the OS, they described it as being buggy and unstable. And by the way, that dialog box that you just saw, had I not copied those setup files over to the hard disk, Windows Me would have required, well, the disk is already in the drive, but Windows Me would have required me to put the disk in. Right now we have no disk activity on the optical drive because we're actually installing from the hard drive. So we're not actually touching the CD-ROM drive. This also expedites the installation process and just makes it a much more pleasant experience. But back in 2000, many people were installing Windows Me from a CD, and it was quite slow installing it. Even when you're installing from a hard drive, it can be quite slow. So, but anyways, yeah, Windows Me, a lot of people hated it detested it because of the hardware restrictions as far as real mode DOS support. They reported numerous compatibility issues and said it was just a very unstable operating system. Now, honestly, if I'm honest, I'm going to go out on a limb here, okay? My first computer was an HP Pavilion that ran Windows Me. And honestly, other than that computer, I don't remember the exact model because I was only 3 years old when I got it. Other than that computer, which Windows Me ran like total trash on, every other Windows Me computer I've had has not had a problem. I have not had a problem with it. It seems like Windows Me is a lot like Vista, in my opinion, where it'll play nice with some hardware, but some hardware it just does not like and will just refuse to function. In addition, running Windows Me in a VM is also frowned upon by me because, well, every time I've run Windows Me in a VM, oh my god, why? Jeez, Ben, quit it with the bad puns already. Anyways, every time I've run Windows Me in a VM, I've always had numerous problems. Program crashes, freezes, blue screens of death, you name it. I've had so many problems running Windows Me in a virtual environment. But on actual hardware, I've honestly never had a problem with it. The only times I've ever had problems is once when a hard drive died and once when I had bad RAM. Anyways, we'll go ahead and type in my name here and company name. We will read every last word of that EULA. And now comes the product key, the fun part. It has these well-loved features that's called activation. Actually, Windows Me that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Windows Me was the last version of Windows to not have Windows product activation. And for that reason, I'm going to be reading the product key I have for Windows Me as I type it in. So here we go. J as in Juliet, H as in Hotel, G as in Golf, P as in Papa, 9, H as in Hotel, H as in Hotel, V as in Victor, Y as in Yankee, 3, C as in Charlie, 2, 8, J as in Juliet, R as in Romeo, M as in Mike, B as in Bravo, 2, 4, X as in X-ray, V as in Victor, 9, 2, D as in Delta, 3. And there we go. That is a Windows Me OEM product key. If you want that product key, simply rewind the video to listen to me read it aloud. I'm actually reading that off of a website, and I'm not actually reading that from an official COA. It's just a picture of a COA. But like I said, I don't think Microsoft is going to care if I give away a product key for a 20-year-old piece of software that hasn't been supported for 14 years. So, Microsoft, if you want this video taken down, if you really care that much about Windows Me, you are free to take this video down. But honestly, I don't think they're going to give a damn, if I'm honest with you all. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and reboot one more time. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Vista, right, where I'm constantly having to reboot the computer. We're going to boot off the hard drive again. Microsoft Windows Me Millennium Edition. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I said, Windows Me holds a special place in my heart because it was the operating system that shipped with my first computer, and even though I didn't use it very much, and Windows XP is more nostalgic to me, which will be getting a 20th anniversary video next year, Windows Me is definitely holds a special place in my heart. Oh, never mind. We're not done setting up hardware. It's still going, of course. See, and this is another thing people didn't like about Windows ME. Wow, I said I was going to call it Windows Me, and then I say ME. Wow, great job, Ben. Anyways, another thing people didn't like about Windows Me is glitches like this, where it says it's done and then it's really not. Yeah, so just stuff like that people didn't really like about Millennium Edition. And Windows Me was also a bit sluggish in terms of performance on older systems. Honestly, if you're going to run Windows Me, here are the Ben Kleinberg recommended specs. I'd recommend at least an MMX-enabled Pentium 2, at least, I'd say about 200 megahertz or faster clock speed. I would recommend at least 96 megs of RAM, and I'd recommend at least a 6 gig hard disk and a video card and a any video card from around 1999, 2000 will do the trick. Even older video cards will work, but yeah, you could probably get away with like a laptop Cirrus Logic card on Windows Me. But honestly, I would just stick with the cards from around 1999, 2000 if I were the end user. So. And this is another part that takes an eternity if you're installing Windows Me from the CD, is updating the system settings. Yes, this part takes literally for freaking ever just to complete. So, and actually, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to plug in the Ethernet cable because this computer actually does have a network card built into it, so let me get in front of the camera here and obscure you guys' view. Where the hell is my Ethernet cable? That's my mouse. Where's my Ethernet cable? Oh, here it is. It's all the way over. Oh, it's plugged into the power book. Right. Yoink. Not anymore, you're not. Alright. And plug it into the Windows Me machine here. I swear I'm just on fire with these bad puns today. Anyways, there we go. I went ahead and plugged in the Ethernet cable so I can at least show you internet access in IE 5.5. There is one website. Unfortunately, Space Jam now uses HTTPS, so you can no longer visit that website in older browsers such as IE 5.5. But there is another website that I like to set as the default homepage on any computer with Internet Explorer on it. And because Internet Explorer is officially dead in favor of Microsoft Edge, I'm going to be showing what browser what I do to any computer that still has IE installed on it at all. So we'll go ahead and wait a few minutes here. We will boot off the hard disk. I should probably take the Windows Me CD out of the drive because I guess I'm just over. That's just one thing about me, is I'm just about me. Oh my God, Ben, seriously, the puns. Like I said, I'm on fire today. All right, so I'll type in a username here. But yeah, I'll take the CD out in just a minute here. So I'm going to go ahead and type my name. I will not be entering a password. Hardware database. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. It's probably going to want It's probably going to want my video driver pretty soon here. So let me. Okay, don't say it. Don't say it. No more bad puns. We're done with the bad puns. Let me go ahead and disconnect my keyboard here because I want to plug in my USB stick, which has the driver for my Matrox Millennium card. Oh yeah, and this was another thing people didn't like about Windows Me, was how long it took to update the system settings. But on this computer, since we installed from the hard drive, it didn't take very long, but this would usually take like at least 20 minutes back in the day. So You kids today are so lucky to have operating systems like Windows 10. Really, you are. Anyways, we should be at the desktop in just a moment here. And... oh, more of this. More updating system settings. We interrupt this program to bring you Updated System Settings, the show! Yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. There's the desktop with no video driver. Alright, but we're going to fix that right now. We're going to fix that right now with the video driver. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug in my USB stick back here. And yeah, Windows is actually telling me that there are new devices available on the network because, yes, believe it or not, I do have my Ethernet cable plugged in, like I said I would. I did not want to go there. Oh, has it not installed? Oh yeah, it's still installing the disk or the drivers. Okay, not a problem. I believe Windows Me does have native support for USB. Yeah, actually, no, that's another thing. Windows Me does have native support for USB flash sticks, as you can see here. So we're going to go ahead and go into it. And... wait a second. What's this? Where are the drivers? Are you telling me I did not put the drivers on here? Well, that's just wonderful. Well, what is this? Oh no, this is the right one. This is the right one. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I don't know why I didn't have. I was gonna say I could have sworn I put the Matrox drivers on here. I could have sworn that I did. So, okay. There we go. 72 files successfully unzipped. Okay, so now here's how you install drivers the manual way in Windows 9X. We go into our device manager here. We will not be setting up that controller or this graphics controller. In fact, no, it doesn't even show up down here. Okay, well this is not the right driver. Well, no wonder it can't initialize the driver. That's because I have the Matrox driver in there. So you go to your standard. So we're going to go to Update Driver, Specify Location. Specific location. We will not be browsing there. We are going to be going into MGA fold. I don't know if that'll have the drivers in here, but let's see if it does. I know this worked last time, and if it doesn't work this time, I'm going to cry. I can still move the mouse. There we go. Hey, look at that. The updated driver. Yes, sir. Please install that driver so I can get out of this 640 by 480 16 color hell. Okay, there we go. And we got to restart the computer. Oh, joy. And actually, I'm going to take my totally legit Windows Me CD out. And just to prove that it's totally legit, there you go with the writing upside down. Yes, no one steal my CD, okay? I'm sure Microsoft will file a lawsuit against me for giving away 20-year-old software. Oh, no keyboard found. Yeah, no one. Well, of course there's no keyboard found because I've got no keyboard plugged in. No keyboard detected. Press any key to continue. Now, one thing. This is a perfect example of a video card that does not play nice with Windows Me, which is the reason I wanted to install this driver, because, well, you'll see why in just a moment. There we go. So now we actually have the proper color palette and the proper resolution. Oh, yeah, and this is just, for some reason it thinks there's another display connected. We will not be registering. I don't care. Go away. There we go. Okay. So, Windows Me, registered to me, Pentium 3, 512 megs of RAM. Let's take a tour of the operating system before my camera battery decides to die on me. Oh my god, how many times have I broken my vow not to make any more me puns? Anyways, so Windows Movie Maker. We'll go ahead and open this up. There should be music playing, and normally I would be going but unfortunately I don't have any speakers to hook up, so we will be missing out on that. But basically with Windows Movie Maker, what we can do is we can import media, like so. Actually, I don't want to go to pictures, I want to go to my videos. We want to open up the sample file here. And, hey, wait a minute, that's my kid in there! No, I'm kidding. I'm stealing the Computer Clan's joke, okay? I'm sorry, Ken. I had to make that joke at least once. Anyways, we're going to go to Timeline View here, and I can show you what it looks like, what making a movie in Windows Movie Maker looks like. Basically, you just drag your clips down to the timeline, you can rearrange them, you can add audio, you can tweak the audio. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. This is your little preview playback window here where you can literally just play certain clips. There would normally be audio playing of this little kid whose parents, I doubt his parents gave consent for him to be in this video. But anyways, this is where you would go if you had a camera, but I don't, so we won't be able to see that. But I will show the About screen. This is the very first version of Windows Movie Maker. I will not be saving my project. Go into Windows Media Player here, and it's not configured for the internet, but we don't care. It is playing Beck's Beautiful Way song, but Windows Media Player 7, which I'll show really quickly here, this is version 7, is a complete departure from previous installments of Windows Media Player. Windows Media Player used to look very classic, and it wouldn't have this ambiance that you could change here. There's all sorts of ambiance you can apply here just to make it look kind of cool. But it also had the ability to rip CDs. You could have a media library here, which if you wanted to, you could go out on the internet. You can search the drive for media, and I don't care, go away. But yeah, this is basically where you'd find all your media in one place. You could do internet radio, which I can't show because it's no longer active. Portable devices, which allowed you to connect MP3 players. So this is basically a precursor to iTunes. And then, of course, the skin chooser. Yes, this was the best part of Windows Media Player. I'm sorry, I can't stop making bad puns. And yeah, you could choose any skin you want. This was my favorite back in 2000. But yeah, then you just click this button here to revert back to the normal skin. So Windows Media Player, there's also the equalizer. You could turn on SRS wow effects. There was the media guide, which is no longer active, so I can't show that. But basically that's Windows Media Player. I'll show you System Restore now under System Tools. If I can get to System Tools, there we go. Here's System Restore. So I could create if I wanted to, I could create a restore point, and so that way, you know, hey, I just installed the Matrox Millennium, but let's say that broke my computer. I could go here to restore my computer to an earlier point in time. I could select the system restore point I wanted to go back to and hit next. Now, since this is unpatched Windows Me, it's not going to work, but if this were patched, and let's say that was malware that I just installed, I could revert the changes. We also have all the internet games, which again is something I cannot show because they are no longer active. The servers have been down for over a year now. But other than that, it's pretty standard Windows 9X. The control panel also displayed this category view, which is a precursor to XP. I prefer the old school control panel, but that's just me. You guys are going to hate me for making all these puns. But anyways, yeah, so there's your control panel, pretty much just like Windows 9X. And I think I explained pretty much all the new features in Windows Me, so I don't think there's a real need for me to go back and, you know, redo everything. I will show some of the desktop wallpapers, though. This was my favorite one, was the Cliff and Clouds. Oh yeah, an active desktop is a thing. Yep, that was my favorite wallpaper. There's also a bunch of other sample pictures. In fact, in Windows Me, let me go into my pictures, this is another feature, was previews down here. And you could also preview text documents. Hey, there's my Roku, Benjamin. Wow, that's a little odd to be seeing that on Windows Me, that it detects my Roku. Wow, you go, Windows Me. That's from Windows 2000, that picture there. There's Windows Image Preview here, so you could choose images, you could play around with them. There's Yosemite, which our beloved president can't even pronounce correctly. And of course, there was, in a Draga 1 video, Yep, we know this looks exactly like the default wallpaper on macOS 10 Yosemite. But anyways, screensavers, there really weren't any new ones included with Windows Me. Pretty much still the same as Windows 95 and 98. But Windows Me, yeah, this is basically what the gist of Windows Me. It basically has everything else. It does not have the CD player, which was included in Windows 98. But because Windows Media Player is included, obviously. Windows DVD Player was also included, which I don't actually remember where that is, but basically it allowed you to play DVDs, but it was rather broken, and this computer does not have a DVD drive, so it doesn't really matter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set IE's homepage. Oh, right, I can't type because I don't have my keyboard plugged in. Right. Well, hold on a second. Let me eject my USB disk here. And I'll plug my keyboard back in so I can actually type. There we go. All right. Yes, this is what I do. Oh, and another annoying thing, every time you first launch Internet Explorer, it brings you to this stupid MSN setup. So what you have to, and no matter what you try, even if I click Internet Explorer, you'll see it just brings me back to the same thing. So what you actually have to do to get it to work is you have to go to, if you have a LAN connection, go to Programs, Accessories, System Tools, maybe it's not System Tools, it might be under Internet Tool. Is there Internet Tools? Oh, Communications. There we go. Internet Connection Wizard. Click LAN, automatically detect, and then uncheck that box. And now we can get on the Internet. That's how you do it. Yep, if you haven't already guessed, Internet Explorer is evil. Yes, it really is. This is Internet Explorer 5.5, just to confirm. But yes, this is Internet Explorer, and this is what I do on any machine running Internet Explorer. This is what I do. So, yeah, that just goes to show what you can do with old technology. Anyways, I think I've explained Windows Me enough. It's been a fun installation, commemoration, sensation, not really frustration, fortunately. So I think I'll end things off here. I have to get back to work. I apologize for the short video, but I hope I did a good job explaining Windows Me. Happy 20th birthday, Windows Me. You're only 1 year away from being able to legally drink with me. And take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. My camera battery is about to die. Take care. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Ho-ho, but hold the phone. I forgot to show a problem I have with Windows Me on this computer. Watch what happens when I go to shut down the computer. Oh. It doesn't do it this time. Of course. Of course. Right when it's always funny. When you go to your IT people, you say everything's broken, the problem no longer occurs. Isn't that a frickin' coinky-dink? Anyways, well, there was going to be a problem that I was going to show you with this Matrox card, but it doesn't seem to be having it this time. So anyways, my camera battery's about to die. Goodbye for real. Happy 20th, Windows Me. I gotta go grab a beer, or I'm going to die. See you guys later. Bye.